Enough?
I want to bask in an experience I had just for a second. So I just was in South Africa, and I was in Cape Town, and it was the most delicious experience of the vortex. And when you talked about this yesterday, about there can't be too much diversity, there can't be too much richness, there can't be too many people asking for different things. I mean, that is the feeling of Cape Town, and it was the most delicious thing I've ever felt. The air is like ice cream, and the light is precious, and there are so many colors and shapes and sizes of people speaking so many languages, and the layers of energy are so amazing.
Because in that sort of significant diversity, everyone is free.
And you don't expect freedom.
It's in an
there.
environment where there is a large collection of sameness that your freedom is at risk. But in that kind of diversity, everyone is free. And that's really the way the universe is at large, that kind of diversity.
And I want to carry that feeling inside of me, because it was the most wonderful feeling I've ever had. And I couldn't find it anywhere. I couldn't point to what was causing it. But after I'd been there about 10 days, it was so saturated in the air that it was like it was part of me. And
Jerry and Esther
so
stumbled upon
wonderful.
what you found here in a little bit different way as they were moving around the nation. And they noticed that when they were in areas of sparse population, they felt their own freedom of thought. They could feel the energy of thought flowing freely. In cities of great diversity, they could feel it too. But in cities where the diversity was less, they could feel the resistance. But it isn't something that a place accomplishes for you. It's a state of mind. It's a wonderful thing to ponder how it feels, and it's really a good thing to reason yourself into understanding it and knowing it. When you say, I want to always feel this way, that's what you're doing by reclaiming that feeling and then coming to an understanding. Don't you like the word understanding? It's the vibrational basis beneath what you are observing in terms of manifestation. So that's the way you accomplish it, by returning to that feeling and then returning to your observation as you remember it, and then continuing yours and our appreciation of diversity.
So from that place of that experience, I had the most wonderful connections with kids that didn't speak English that I've ever had. It was phenomenal. And so this discussion about language today, which is my favorite topic ever, was so resonant that some child who didn't speak English and didn't speak much at all, I could communicate with so perfectly, and I could understand her so perfectly.
When you think about what we've been talking about for a long time, about if you are not in this receptive mode but are in the receptive mode of something that doesn't feel good, that the more general you are, the better you will feel. You will release your momentum and your vibration can rise. But the more in alignment you are, the more attention that you want to give it. And so language only helps you when you're truly in alignment. When you are not, it adds specifics that complicate. Doesn't that make sense? That's why Esther likes that song, I should have just gone to bed. Because sometimes you just talk yourself into a deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper momentous hole, you see. And so you can convey so much love through your beingness. But if you're in a state of love, then you want to express it in more and more ways. And that's why poetry flows through you, and that's why music flows through you, and that's why alignment flows through you, and that's why magnificent books flow through you. Yeah, really good.
Perfect.
Can you guide me through step 3? You know, I've asked, and I've asked a lot. Can you take me there? And I think you know what I've been asking. Can you just give me words of appreciation and take me and us all to that place?
We're speaking from your perspective. I have been focused upon some specific things that matter a lot to me. And in the process, I have managed to launch more rockets of desire around this than I can count. And I sense that those rockets of desire have managed to accomplish a point of attraction. But since I can't see it yet, or see it in its tangible form, sometimes I doubt it, because I'm accustomed to trusting what I see, but not so much trusting what is unseen. I want to find a way of knowing it even though I can't see it. I want to feel it even before it is, because I understand that until I feel it, I'm not going to be able to see it. It would be so much easier if I could see it and then know it, but I understand that I've got to know it before I can see it. And so I'm not really asking you, Abraham or Source Energy, to do anything about it to make it happen in some unnatural way. What I'm really asking for is that I can somehow release my resistance in a way that I can trust that it is coming. Because trust feels so good and doubt feels so bad. And so what I'm really talking about here is, how can I goose up my trust? How can I remind myself that things are really always working out for me? How can I trust that it will be as I want it to be? So here's the answer to that question. Look at other things around you that are as you want them to be. And remember when you didn't see them as they are now. Remember the things that were in motion before you could see them. And know that all things are that way. Trusting the process is the answer to your question, but it's not the easiest thing to do. But you can trust in your alignment. You can trust in your emotion. You can trust in the laws of the universe. You can trust in the very consistent law of attraction. You can trust in your inner being who is aware of you. You can trust that Source is with you. You can trust that what you want is known and honored and experienced by the inner being part of you. You can trust that. It's just a matter of practicing that feeling. That's what the process of getting to anything that you want that hasn't come about yet. This is what you have to accomplish. You have to realize that the journey has begun, and you want to stay in your lane as you're going. You want to find the thoughts that feel good, and if the thought doesn't feel good, then release it as quickly as you can. And don't let a worrisome thought get started. Don't let it get any momentum going. As you go to bed at night, lie in your bed and know that while you sleep, that any momentum that is slowing anything down will stop, and the momentum of your source and the momentum of what you are wanting is underway in full swing. And imagine that when you awaken in the morning, because you've slept and your vibration has risen as a result of being asleep, that you will meet the vibration of your source in the moment that you awaken. And ask specifically for some feeling, some impulse, some confirmation of that, and expect it to come at first in the form of emotion. It can come in other ways. Through rendezvousing, people will say things to you. They don't even know you, and they'll be saying things to you that are meaningful to you. Things will happen in your environment. All kinds of things will come as messengers to let you know that you're right on track. Watch for the evidence of the messengers all along the way. This is really what we are wishing for all of you, to look for evidence of your alignment before the manifestation. This is the secret of living happily ever after, and it's the secret of getting the specific things that you want. Look for the evidence before it is seeable, hearable, smellable, tasteable, touchable. Look for the evidence along the way and watch what happens. An avalanche of it will come to you. You're ready to receive the evidence. Yeah. Have fun.
Thank you.
Have fun with it.
I will.
This is a really good time for a segment of refreshment. And are you refreshed? Good. Now what?
Thank you, Abraham. I love you so much. And you too, Esther. This has been wonderful to listen to everything. Years and years ago, I was putting so much emphasis on decisions that you have to make in life. So much to the point to where I sort of gave myself paralysis and wasn't making a decision because I thought all these decisions would define who I am in my eyes and in the eyes of all the people around me. And I just sort of became full of feeling defensive against the world. And this was before I knew you in this format, but I felt you say to me one day while I was driving, worried about a decision, and you said, "Don't be so afraid of this world." And it just was soothing, matter of fact, and it just helped me realize that I was missing the joy in creating the content of the story of this physical experience. So once that happened, I had so much more energy. I came to know you in this format, and it has just helped me so much that I'm thinking, and I want you to tell me if I'm off track, but that the content of this story that I'm calling my physical experience, my life, is not really me. I get to sort of observe it and have fun with it, and therefore it's easier for me to make decisions because I know it's something I'm creating, but it's really not me. It's my experience here.
You are a little off track on that.
Okay.
But it'll be easy for you to understand why. You have been making decisions. Life just calls them from you. And every experience that you have causes you to decide from your personal point of view what you prefer. So you have a vortex, this vibrational reality, this perfect vortexual reality, full of your decisions that you've made incrementally, and that law of attraction is gathered together. So the decisions have been made. But what you were talking about just now is what we were talking about earlier, about continuing to ask for something that's already answered. That's what was causing the confusion. You are the creator of your own reality, and your decisions have made this vortex that is the basis of what's coming next. You're right in sensing that it was time for you to relax and allow what you had decided to be. Can you feel that?
Yes, yes.
Don't be mad at yourself for making decisions. A creator is making decisions all the time from your important point of view. Yeah.
Okay.